I call this meeting of the Airport Advisory Board of the City of Laredo to order. The date is September the 14th. The time is 12:04. And we will begin by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Would everybody please rise? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. All right, roll call. I'll start by indicating, Mr. Gonzalez indicated he wouldn't be here.
We need a motion to excuse, well, we'll make it after.
I'll do it.
And,
So, Miss Elizabeth Alonso Villarreal, she's not going to be present. Mr. George Narvaez, also not present. Mr. Carlos Gordillo,
Present.
Mr. Hector Cortez,
Present.
Mr. John Gilo,
Present.
Mr. Joel Benavides,
Present.
Mr. Robert Judd Gilpin,
Present.
Mr. Gonzalez, he's not present, and Ms. Guevara is also not going to make it. So we do have a quorum.
Do we need a
Okay.
motion to excuse, you know? Or do they do that here?
I don't know.
No, we
I
don't
know
do
that
that.
it matters anymore.
Here, there's no.
Yeah, because you have a rule anyway, right?
What it is now is if you get 4 absences, I think you're allowed up to 4 absences.
Up to
Per
4.
year or total?
Per year.
Per year.
That was 2.
I have one, that's on my,
Okay, I want to ask another question. Is it calendar year or fiscal year?
It's calendar year.
Okay.
So you need to
So
hurry
we'll
with,
start over in January.
Yes.
All
you
right.
need to hurry with your blow dry, Judge. So,
let's start early.
yeah.
Very good. We'll consider approving the minutes this time from the last meeting.
I was not present, so I don't know.
I already read them.
We need a motion.
Need a motion.
I move to approve minutes for.
Do we have a second? All righty. All those in favor? Very good. Okay, going on to staff reports. Actually, I skipped over citizen comments, but I don't think we have any guests, so.
No, we don't have any good.
Okay, staff reports.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, also I would like to, for the record, Mr. Gilberto Sanchez, our airport director, interim airport director is out of town, and Alejandro Labrada, the assistant airport director, will be running the meeting. Okay. On the passenger activities report, you can see that we're getting all scheduled airlines, that we're getting a little bit better. Everybody's getting better. Everybody now is traveling, so TSA is getting back to the $2.2 million check a day, and 2.4, 2.5. So we're getting reports that everybody's, and you know that. So we're getting better on the enplanements, and we're getting better on the deplanements. So we're in the positive percentages. So you can see on the passenger report. We have to leave. That's an emergency. We have to leave. We have to run. I don't know if anybody have any questions on the passenger report, so we can move on to the cargo.
I remember asking the director if we could have a line item that showed pre-COVID to make sure that we were,
No, make a
I'll
note.
include that
I
in the
think it was
next.
2019?
Yes.
I'll-
To compare to the 2019.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we'll make that.
to
Make-
see if
make a note.
we're back up or we're still having room.
Right. Yeah, right now we're comparing to 2020, so we need to add 2019.
Yes.
Okay, we'll add 2019. And you want the percentages against 2019, right?
Yeah, just seeing how, like I say, if we're
All right,
back
so let's make
on a
that.
growth.
Yeah, so we'll be the 2022 versus 2019.
I think, would that capture what he's looking for, that shows the pre-COVID? I
Yes.
don't remember the.
It started
year.
in December of
Late
19.
19, okay.
Yeah.
Really, it was March when everything hit the fan.
Most of the
Exactly.
time, if
20.
you want to measure something against a pre-COVID, it has to be 2019, yes. The same thing on the cargo report, of course, we're on the positive again. You can see that our percentages are on the positive side, and the 2022 against 2021 is 72%, and the 2022 against 22 is 298. So that's expected to big variance on 2020.
Yeah, so again. the
We'll
same for
add it
all the reports.
2019.
Okay.
On every report, we'll add that on every report. Well, yeah, on the same thing on the FIS inspection is the same thing is you're seeing huge percentages and because of the comparison to the 2020. Okay, so FIS operations and then we go to, I don't know if any questions of the FIS, so we can proceed to the fuel report. It's the same thing. We have good numbers, again, compared to 21 and compared to 20. So everything looks good. So the aviation industry is getting better and better. And the last report that we have is the delinquent report. You can see that we're behind $4,600. Something with Aeromar on the FS landings and then NetJets. So that's it's over 90 days. So
And we
need
went
to-
over that, and NetJets is just a kind of a continuous
Yes,
late pay, right?
yes, they always, yeah.
Yeah.
We went
And
to,
Automata, same thing?
well, no, not really. Aeromar is not all.
We had some delinquent accounts before that, I don't know, we told you to write them off. There were some that were companies that weren't even in business
Yes,
anymore.
that was Skyway. Mhm.
We did
That was
that.
Skyway.
And we wrote them off?
Yes, we were.
Okay,
Okay,
so these are current customers.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
the next item, Mr. Chairman, is the status on the taxiways G1 and G2. Everything is proceeding as normal. The construction is going on. We have almost no delays, believe it or not, because of the rain, but because we already had the base with the asphalt. So right now, the project's about between 35 and 40%, and we continue working on the taxiways. I don't know if you have any comments or anything on the staff report.
How much more construction is there left to do under this phase?
This contract is about $9 million, and they have done about 40%. So they have 1 year to finish, and they still have like about 6-7 more months. But we're gonna finish before the construction time.
Do you have a staff report on what's the company that we subsidize? The one in Mexico City?
Aeromar.
Oh, that's Automata.
That's Aeromar.
Okay.
That's the airline that we subsidize.
But do we have any flight reports on that or no?
I don't have one for this meeting, but if you want me to start including it for future meetings, I can.
Well, I just wondered, are we going up, down?
That will be very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Do you want me to do, yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's
Well, I guess
separate.
just a monthly report of
Yeah.
I guess
seats.
include them in
The
what we
seats.
have,
Yeah.
right?
On the passenger report, we need to separate it by United, American, United, Allegiant, and Aeromar.
That's what we
For the 4 different categories.
Okay, so you want all airlines individually?
Yeah,
Also?
individually,
Okay.
yes.
Because on the last reports, they used to tell us that Aeromatic's on the low 20s.
Yes.
20, low 20%.
No, we're gonna do that. We need to include that report by airline, individual airlines, American, United, Allegiant,
And wives.
Aeromar.
or-
And show the whole year and the percentages and everything.
And also would it do you
And then
want me
we'll compare to the
Okay.
2019,
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
Their ad on the television is pretty good, except I have an issue. It says direct flight. It's not a direct flight, it's a nonstop flight. A direct flight means you go and you stop and you continue. A nonstop is an actual nonstop flight. And they say direct flight.
A direct
Direct,
flight-
should say direct nonstop flight too.
Either, but a direct, usually when
Like
you
enough
say
to,
flying direct, means
Madison, yeah.
you get there and you stop and you don't get off the plane.
Yeah.
That's a direct flight, correct?
Yeah.
And then a nonstop is actual nonstop. So I was like,
People
It's wrong.
interchange those things, the direct flight or nonstop, yes. Well,
because
we'll-
people,
but
people,
perceptions are different.
when I worked for United, people, it was a New York to LA, and it would stop in San Antonio when I was going to college, and people, what am I doing in Texas? It's a direct, they said it was a direct flight. Well, it is a direct flight. You didn't have to get off the plane.
Exactly.
They'd be just some pissed off New Yorkers.
No, we'll talk to Madison Avenue and we'll make the change. I don't know if we can still do it in that commercial, but the future commercials, we'll make sure.
And
that-
it's good, it's really
Yeah.
good.
Okay, thank you.
I don't watch any TV, I just use internet, and so I've never seen an ad, period.
We are
Now,
on- we are
I see
on-
every single, 5,000 ads for Henry. but I have never seen an ad.
For Henry or against Henry?
No, I haven't seen anything against on
I've
the
seen the
internet.
ones
I've
against.
seen
On-
I've seen both.
I saw one on the football game, I think, but, on TV, like I said, that's the only TV I watch. is
We
football.
we do have media on
I know.
Facebook and Instagram and.
We talked about that, the 2 meetings ago, it's like, we're not getting very good coverage in there.
So,
I'm looking for the Laredo International Airport. I've seen on Facebook and Instagram, but just fly
And-
from Laredo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They,
I
ha-
follow
they,
them as well.
they have photos when we have, for example, when Harry present the check and things like that. We have pictures on Instagram, on Facebook, and all that. So
But I'm
they-
saying the pop-up ads, like I say, during the games or whatever you may be doing, other than Facebook, because I don't do Facebook either, is, I get none.
we do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And
We
I don't know
also
how,
have
ask Kenny
our-
how we got those things.
so we have, the last meeting, they did a presentation, Madison Avenue. And she gave a very thorough presentation as to why we're so focused on social media and
Right.
streaming services as opposed to just general TV.
No, but I'm
Laredo-
saying-
Yeah,
What I'm asking is, because, I'm on the internet a lot, and I have never seen.
and is it for videos or are you just?
Videos, mainly.
So
Videos.
YouTube, pretty much.
YouTube, well, and other
You go-
streaming things.
okay, but
And
you-
games, especially games.
You mean like when you go to, for example, Microsoft main page, MSN? And
No,
then
I
you,
don't go to the.
well, I'm using like CNN. You go to CNN.
No, I
And you can lose-
Which one you go, Fox?
don't. No, I don't,
Fox,
I'll tell
okay.
you,
Yeah.
I quit 2 years ago, and I don't go to any of the news services, stuff. Everyone, it pops up, and you look at it and read, and maybe Drudge every once in a while, and I'm so much happier.
It's frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, no,
So
no,
much,
I'm with
and
you.
I'm actually calmer.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
And,
That's for sure.
No, what
I'm with you.
What I'm referring is when
I
you
don't
go
read
to
the
one,
Times.
when you go to one of those sites and they know that your IP address is from Laredo,
No, like
and
is it-
Google will put some Laredo things, so.
It
So
also,
for
de-
streaming, you're talking more like ESPN or Fox Sports
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that.
It's-
Fox and Friends and,
it also depends on your engagement and what you're interacting with. So if you're interacting with, like us on, like if you go to our websites and like your cookies are gonna stay there, right?
Yes.
That will trigger our algorithm to, or our
Yeah,
media to come out for you.
Exactly.
As well as your followings on any social media account. I get the ads a lot. I even saw it on KGNS because I was watching a video. But I'm like the #1 fan of the Facebook because I'm always liking them. But yeah,
Well,
that
that's my wife,
presentation
because
is.
she's on constant. And I'll ask her if she's ever seen the ad, because if she doesn't get it, she's on Facebook all the time. Like. I can do that.
so, we do have media, even we have some billboards. You haven't
Yeah,
seen the
I-
billboards?
Yeah, I've seen this. I've
Yeah,
seen
we
it
have
billboard.
billboards around town that you can see Fly Laredo and it shows Dallas, Houston, Vegas and Mexico City and all that, so.
I
But,
know those pop-up ads are a lot cheaper than,
Oh, yeah.
than any other
Most
type of
definitely.
stuff.
so okay, you mean you go to the internet, any site on the
Like I say,
internet?
on my game, every time if I do it again, it's Henry. It's like 16 times in a row.
He has more money, he has more money than I, okay.
And then it'll be, whatever it's hitting comes on there, it's usually
Maybe try
like
YouTube
4, 5,
ads.
6
Yeah.
times in a row,
Consider
and then it'll
ask
switch an
the
ad. and boom, boom, boom,
agency.
boom.
See,
What they think.
We'll ask Madison Avenue, and we can do that.
exactly what streaming.
Because I don't know
Yeah.
how all that stuff works.
Okay, we'll ask and come back and
The next.
the next meeting, yeah, yeah. So for the next meeting, we have the 2019, all the chart will be, again, the 2019 numbers. We also wanna have separate, employments and passengers for individually, for American, United, Legion, and Aeromar. And then we'll ask Madison Avenue, to let us know something about how do we get more into the internet, just not into the social media. Because the social
That
media.
makes sense. It's not just social media.
Okay, we'll ask.
Are you still gonna do the combined one as well, for the deplaned and implaned?
Yeah, it's gonna be combined, but broken down by
We're gonna do both, yes. Employments and deployments, yes. We'll do both. Okay, we used to have it like that, so I don't know why we don't have it anymore, but we'll get it. We'll take care.
So,
Okay, Mr. Chairman?
Takes us to our action items.
Okay. Yes, now, the first action item is consideration to recommend to the mayor and city council.
So move to approve the action, to tell them that we authorize, or what is the word? We concur with their motion to,
This is for, I need to read it.
okay.
Consideration to recommend to the mayor and city council a public hearing and introduction ordinance authorizing the inner city manager to amend the city of Laredo fiscal year 2022 airport construction budget to accept and appropriate revenues and expenses, but in the amount of $7,478,252 for the federal, from the Federal Aviation Administration grant, for the Federal Aviation grant number, this is grant number 100, that's what we call it in short. 348-036-100-2022. This grant will be used for the construction of taxiway Hotel 1 and Hotel 2 at the Laredo International Airport. The local match is 10%, is $830,917, and the total project cost is $8,309,169, and provided for severability and provided for an effective date.
So move to recommend city council.
You have a second? You have a second? Got it. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 And items
Next
2
item.
and 3 are same thing, right?
Yes,
Two's got a typo, I think. Right in the middle there, I think it's 7.5 million. It's missing a zero.
Yeah, 0.
yeah, it's missing a 0.0, yeah.
And I was gonna ask you, on the other one, is this one formulated differently? Because on the other one, you had a match that's associated with the grand total.
Yes,
And on this one, the match seems to be just associated with part, the amount of
With
the
the,
grant.
with the.
yes, that is wrong. We'll fix it.
It's wrong.
Yeah, we'll
So
fix
the,
it.
the match should be
Oh, in the agenda item.
825,000. right?
Yes, we'll fix that, yeah, needs to be fixed, I'll work on that. The next item is consideration to recommend to the mayor and city council a public hearing and introduction ordinance authorizing the inner city manager to amend the city of Laredo fiscal year 2022 airport construction budget to accept and appropriate revenues and expenses by the amount of $7.5 million Federal Aviation Administration Grant 348-0136-102-2022. This one we call Grant 102. This grant will be used for the rehabilitation of the passenger terminal at the Laredo International Airport. The local match will fix that total amount, and the total project cost $15,000, provided for survivability and provided for an effective date. I just want to point out that this grant 102, it is only to rehabilitate, only to remodel. This grant is not to be used for the expansion of the terminal. We have a project that is to expand the terminal, but this $75 million from the Federal Aviation Administration is rehabilitate the terminal building, so we can use it for remodeling.
Facelift.
We can use it for the new escalators, for the new roof, for things like that, and that's the difference, but we cannot use this grant for expansion.
Are we planning on expanding?
We're trying to, yes.
Okay, just
Need-
going on the chairman's
Need a motion.
comments, how do you all calculate the 10%?
You take 7.5 divided by 0.9, divided by 9,
Okay,
and that's what you get the 10%, and then you add them up, and it's 82, and then it's supposed to be like that, so we'll correct it. I don't have my calculator, I don't have my phone.
Me neither.
oh, that, I still get a different number then.
Yes, it's gonna be fixed, that is wrong.
Okay, but it's not 825,000?
No, no.
It's not 8.25 million?
No, it's gonna be fixed.
So is this one, is the prior one right?
We need to correct it, and we'll make the correction when we go to, 7.5.
Well, let me just check first.
We need to fix it, so, we'll fix it, once we go to city council, we'll fix it.
830.
No, okay, so I got the first one wrong too.
What? The first one?
No.
You take 7,478,252,
7,478
252, divided by 9.
by
Point
.9
nine. Point nine, right?
gives me 8,309,000.
That's 8 million divided by 100. See, you need to,
No, but the total cost is
times 10%, times 10 per
I
point, no, multiply the number times 0.1.
1,309,168, okay, yes.
Multiply,
No, no, I'm just saying, I thought I was looking over here,
that is the
I
total,
can't
yes.
see without glasses.
Yeah.
It's 8,309,000 is
Yes.
correct, okay.
So it's the same thing for the other ones.
Okay.
That's the way.
So I'll move to recommend the city council as amended with the
Corrections, with
numbers.
corrections, yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Seconded?
It's not gonna be 800.
Okay. Next item, Mr. Chairman, is consideration to recommend to the mayor and city council the authorization of the interim city manager to execute a lease agreement between the Laredo International Airport and Webb County Head Start for approximately 1.0128 acres of land located at 4704 Naranjo Street. Said tract of land is legally described as Block 33, Laredo Airport Subdivision Plat, recorded in Volume 5, Page 1 of the Webb County Plat Records. Lease term is for 5 years, and within one option to renew it for additional 5-year option until September 30th, 2032. Initial monthly rent shall be $2,707.21 a month and will be adjusted annually according to changes in the consumer price index and providing for an effective date. This is just an extension.
No, this is a reoccurring.
Recurring, yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
Yeah, so everything is just continuous.
Yeah.
Did you do any CPIs or anything, or no?
We do the CPIs based on the lease,
Okay.
and we increase the rent, yes. The next item, Mr. Chairman, is consideration to recommend to the mayor and city council the authorization of one-time purchase from Standard Signs Inc. to the sole manufacturer of the FAA-approved LumaCurve brand airfield signs and replacement parts. Said purchase will be to replace all cross-hang signs on airfield and to upgrade existing LumaCurve signs with LED lighting in the amount of $65,063.54. Installation is not included. This is just a regular purchase order for maintenance for our signs.
Must be nice when you're a sole provider.
Yes, so that's, we need your motion.
Second. Well, leave it
All right.
first.
Was there a motion to approve?
Yeah, well,
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Next item, Mr. Chairman, is consideration to authorize a professional service contract with GRA Incorporated in Alexandria, Virginia, in the amount not to exceed $70,000. The purpose is to provide consulting services in support of an air service development at the Laredo International Airport. The contract is 1-year term commencing on October 1st, 2022, and ending September 30th, 2023. Funding is available on the Airport Operations Fund. The GRA is our consultant for to develop new routes and with the new. He's the one dealing with Aeromar and all that. So it's just another extension continuation of his contract. It's for airline
Weren't we
services.
gonna get an update as to what he had done?
Yeah, exactly.
We did that. Do you haven't seen it?
No.
No,
Do you want an
last
update?
meeting or what?
well, have they accomplished?
Yes,
You know,
basically,
other than
basically,
Aeromar or-
well, they also go to different conferences and talk to different airlines. He's a consultant to do airline development, to bring the new airlines to the Laredo. But if you want to, we can have a report of their activities.
How
Okay,
long
did-
have they been, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
They have been 2 years. This is
2
for the-
years?
I think it's the
No,
third year. 1
I
year
think it's longer.
or longer?
I've seen their work, I think, go back to 2015.
No,
Jerry, no?
no, GRA, no. It's about. We'll let you know. But it's,
Did
I
we
have,
have- I'm sorry. Did
David
we have this
Wingard.
discussion 2 meetings ago when I asked about it, and then I think you all had, is this the same person? We haven't paid them anything?
That's
No, that's a
That's
different one.
That's different.
That's
That's a different one.
That's,
Yeah, that's
what's his
Dueña.
name? Dueñas.
Oh, that's the next one.
That's the
Yes.
next, yeah, that's Dueñas.
Yeah, this is
Yeah. Would you like a video presentation or just a written report?
Okay.
fine.
Well, I mean,
But I was curious to know
Yeah.
what is it that they're
We would
doing,
like to
because
know.
on the last attachment
Well, that's
or
right.
attachment B, you know, they describe the hourly rate for each of the people involved in this company.
Right.
And I was like, well, what is it that all these people do for us?
We can provide a report, the way I have done, and where I have gone. I just need clarification. A written report is fine, or you want him to be on a web page, a WebEx meeting, and he will present it himself? We can have it on the WebEx or just a written report. What would you like? It's up to you.
It's short.
A short report.
No, no.
so
just
basically,
the video.
it's a consultant, I understand having consultants, and they may do a lot of work in 1 month and no work for the rest of the
Yes.
year, and you gotta pay them monthly no matter what. I know how that works. But, yeah, we just like to know what kind of, for me, and I'm sure Juan and everybody else wants to have the same
What he
thing.
has been doing.
What's he doing besides, okay, you're attending,
Their line development or what else? Accomplishment. or-
Accomplishments.
She's also, I'm sorry, on attachment A, it's actually the proposal of what they're gonna be doing with this contract. So yes, it's also for air service development. And they help us prepare for the conferences like the Jumpstart where they go meet the airlines, as Mr. Labrada said. But with this contract, they're also gonna help administer a grant that the marketing grant we received. They also do provide, help us create a quarterly update for, like, with the data that's going on with the airport, and pretty much any other thing that we request, as it says here, support for any
Well,
duties
and-
assigned.
And I think, probably for us, it's gonna be very important, the airline's feedback, what are our deficiencies? Because what is it that we're lacking for them to come here? Because I'm sure they're gonna say, well, okay, you don't have enough ridership, you don't have this, you don't have that, you know, whether it's, you don't have, gate services, or you don't have the amenities, that, you know.
Then in that case,
But I'm saying that's the kind of feedback I think that the airport needs to say, all right, is there something that we can do to make things more enticing? You know,
I think in
we
that,
can't create riders if there's no riders, and right now we don't have gates, or whatever it may be, so. You
I
know.
guess in that case, it would be better to have a WebEx meeting so you can ask him.
But I'm saying
directly
that, I think that needs to be in his contract to say, this is what, we want the feedback from these companies saying, hey,
Yeah.
you know, if we wanted a San Antonio route, well, then not, you know, San Antonio may not be.
We could get them to do, like some of these other folks that, you know, after a while, we have new board members, and we're not familiar with what maybe got presented.
An
years
introduction
ago.
of what he's doing?
Yeah, like the last one.
Yeah, let's do a WebEx meeting for the next meeting to, David to have on the WebEx meeting, and he will present this, what he's been doing, what his contract's all about, his
Well-
accomplishment, and then you can ask questions.
Okay, I was gonna say, that's not so important to me. I think the feedback from his meetings with the other people saying, all right, here's what they're looking for.
But it's, okay,
And
but
is it something we can do, or is it something? out
right,
of
but
our
instead of
hands?
putting it on a written report, he can make the presentation. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
Okay, we'll do that.
I have
Yes,
a
sir.
question for you. Are you convinced of paying $70,000 to them based on the services that they describe here on attachment A? Is it a fair amount?
It is a fair amount, and sometimes the compensation is based on, is not to exceed. It's whatever service that he provide, we get invoiced. If he doesn't do anything, we don't get invoiced. That's my understanding. If he can be at home doing nothing and doesn't not do anything for us, he doesn't get paid. So we only get billed when whoever he's acting as our consultant for airline development or doing something, that's when we pay. And it's based on some hourly rates and things like that we pay like a regular consultant.
Yeah, because I see 5 different services that they provide here. Support for us on meetings.
Yes.
Assistance.
Yes.
For the grant that we receive.
Mhm.
Continued support for the analysis of Aeromar, which
Yes.
I think is quite easy to see that.
Okay.
Quarterly updates of the data report in support of other.
Air service development, yeah.
So,
That's,
Like I said, yeah, we would like to see maybe, you know, are there, you know, other companies like Allegiant who are can provide, you know, maybe here to Cancun, you know, once a, you know,
I've been
week.
pushing that for years.
You know?
I've been like, dude, yes, it's, I don't understand, when they had it, it was packed.
and
Also-
they're doing it in McAllen, for example.
Also to
Allegiant
Orlando,
flying to Cancun,
Orlando, it
McAllen,
was
I saw
also-
that.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, like once a week is, but again,
Yeah.
do we have the gate service? Do we have the space downstairs? I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. He needs to tell us, hey, you're missing this, this, or this, and I can get this company here, you know.
that would be a better presentation for him to be present as for the airline development and what's needed.
All right, John, let's lease a plane and do Cancun in Orlando in the summer.
And
Más barato.
There you go.
Con baratos. And
Get a
the
donor
the airport director has also been attending some conferences.
Selling it?
They attended some conferences on airline development, so Mr. Gilberto Sanchez, our interim director, he can also provide us some information. I haven't been into those meetings, so he needs to provide that information. So we'll make sure that next meeting is here, and then we have David Winger, which is GRA. We have a WebEx meeting, so he can present all that information to you. Okay?
So this is gonna be put to wait until the next meeting, or?
No, we need that to be approved, please. We need a motion for approval.
Or they can table it, but it's still gonna go to city council.
Yes, you can table it,
Yeah.
and we're still gonna go to city council.
No.
Remember that you're an advisory
Right.
board?
Yeah.
Right.
It can go to city council, say, airport advisory board table it, we can say that. Or
Yeah, well, took no action.
Or we
Or
don't.
took no action.
Or we
Yeah.
don't approve.
And we'll,
At
you
least
say,
one.
but it's gonna go to city council, okay?
Okay.
But I mean, I think you need to make a fair presentation from the advisory board saying they requested more information. They took no action because they requested more information.
Yeah, yes.
That's a fair way to say.
Don't do like planning and zoning used to do, like, well, staff recommends and, you know, planning and zoning didn't, too bad.
Been there, seen that, yes. Okay. Then, and on the committee recommendation, let's make a note that, like what Mr. Galo said,
Yes. I would have to do
Apparently
it.
there's no
We'll
motion,
support
right?
that, no. Yeah.
So
We can make a
if
motion
they took
to
no
communicate.
action,
Wait, never mind.
We can make a motion to communicate,
Right.
what he said.
yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
is there a
And
motion?
we go over the minutes and.
Yeah.
So John's suggestion is the motion, is there a second?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
The motion to what, I'm sorry?
To communicate,
Okay.
there was no action taken because for a lack of information, or requested more information, additional information.
Okay.
Suggest that they hold off until we get additional information. That's our recommendation.
But it will be presented to city
Yeah,
council with that
that's
comment.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Next item,
I'll ask a question on that. Is there any particular reason why it's urgent, or could we, postpone a little bit, just, communicate that to
it's,
them?
it's
Our
just,
Our contract expires, the one that we have with them right now, on September 30th.
yes.
And so we have a routes conference coming up, which is the airline conference in October.
Yeah.
So that's why we wanted to have our contract in place.
Gotcha.
We need him to be there in that conference.
Very good, thanks. All right, so now we go on to a status update on the Ramco Group.
What is that?
That is the,
Number
the
7.
one, yes.
Item 7, number 1.
Status update on consultant service agreement, the city of Laredo and Rafael Dueñas, Renco for economic development consultant services.
And I had asked the question in private, but I guess let's go ahead and get it on the record. So this Dueñas is the father of the candidate, not the candidate.
Yes. Mhm.
So he has no affiliation with this contract.
The candidate doesn't.
The candidate,
Canada doesn't.
Sure, he has no ownership.
I'll just say this contract was sent to city council and approved by city council through the economic development department, as you
Yes.
guys may be aware. We do not know, I don't know the setup of their organization. We didn't do any type of negotiation with Remco or with Mr. Dueñas, so we're not aware, if, his son is like co-owner of the business. They should
So I'm
have
just saying,
disclosed
I
it.
think they should
but-
disclose that.
Yes, they should have disclosed
I
it
don't know,
if
and
they
like I said, I'm not holding it against them for anything, I'm
Yeah.
just asking
Yeah.
for informational purposes. I think the public should know.
But there is no update. We have not been sent an invoice having to do with this contract since the last meeting.
Okay. Since the last meeting or since 2 meetings ago we talked about it?
Since any meeting, they've
I-
never
never
invoiced.
invoiced.
Yes,
Never.
never.
we haven't paid a penny.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the next item.
And until what date is the contract gonna be active?
I cannot think of that off the top of my head, but we can,
Probably so a year.
yeah.
Most of the time, the contracts are for a year with
And so
extension.
what is he doing that he's not invoicing? Or what is he not doing?
Exactly.
So the way that the contract, or the way that it was approved is that when he does work, it will either be billed through economic development, I think it's either Bridge or us.
Yes.
But we said if they're not doing airport work, we cannot pay because we have federal funds.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if
Oh,
they've
so
done
he can
anything.
he can be doing work for the other.
Exactly,
for Bridge
exactly.
and
Yes.
billing them. Okay.
Yes.
So he's got a kind of all-inclusive contract, you know?
Well, none of the board members have been convinced of, what he's supposed to offer, right? So
Okay,
we're all on top
Do
of
we
that.
have a,
To be fair, I wanna repost this update for next meeting and provide more information, okay?
yeah, do we have a copy of the contract?
I can get it, I can pull it from
for next
from
time.
the meeting.
No, for the next meeting. For the next
Yeah.
meeting, we'll repost this, status update, and we'll provide more information about the grant, the contract, the dates, the amounts, and all that, okay? We'll do that. We'll apologize for that. But we'll repost it and provide more information. We'll do a little one sheet with bullets, so you can, have all other information. Okay? Mr. Chairman, next item.
Financial reports.
The financial reports are on the last pages, and you can see I don't know if anybody has seen it, and any questions regarding the financial reports?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
I was the one that requested them
Okay.
on the previous meeting.
okay,
And I do have a couple of questions or comments.
okay.
For example, if we go to the balance sheet, we see that we have on our assets close to $26 million.
Mm-hmm, yes.
And it says that they're in an equity investment pool. Do we know what kind of investment firm we have this funds allocated? What's the return on investment on that? Or do we have it in different banks or, you know?
That's probably by law, no?
Yes, we have to do it. This is all the finance department does.
Yeah.
Have zero knowledge of finance.
Yeah.
I'm more, ask me more about engineering and construction.
Well, could you just ask them for a breakdown, because usually it's by law that there's certain funds that you
Yes.
must invest in certain pools.
Okay,
So, like, we have one that text pool, it actually just went up, cause with the rates going up, it followed the rates, the Fed rates. But it was paying us like 0.3 or something like that. Now I think it's up to 1 point something.
okay.
But by law, cause we have other pools, you know, that we could invest in, but those monies had to go to those certain pools. So it's good to know if there is the ability to move.
Okay,
Thank you for the information. The interim director is more qualified as a previous budget director, and Manuel de Luna also have administrator, finances and
It
administrator.
doesn't show
Planning.
it doesn't
You
show
can
interest
ask me all the
receivable.
questions and I'll write them down so we can have it prepared for the next.
We,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Give us your questions and we'll repost it for the next meeting.
okay. I'll write it
I'm-
down then.
I'm not an expert
Oh,
in
you can
finance,
tell me. Okay.
but maybe we can continue with maybe we can answer some questions.
Well, let me, like Mr. Gaylor says, if we can get detailed information
Okay.
on each item, that would be very helpful.
Okay.
Just to understand where the money is.
Okay?
And, you know, it seems to be a healthy balance sheet there.
Not for long.
And
You spend money quick,
I
huh?
am the spender. I am the
Those are-
spender.
If that's pool money, you can't spend that money, no?
It's some grants that we have that we
Oh,
receive.
so it's a grant, so.
Those grants that we receive, the CARES grants and all that. We receive $18.5 million on CARES grant, and we're gonna use $14 million for the expansion.
So who presents these financial reports? Who's the one that makes them?
The City of Laredo Finance Department.
Okay.
We don't do any
And
financial
are
reports.
they welcome to come here and explain to
Sure,
us?
we can ask the finance director to be here.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
So these are no assets, and those are just encumbered liabilities.
Exactly. Most of the time, most of this money is grants and revenues. The airport has some revenues and grants.
Yep.
That's all. And by FAA regulations and laws, we are supposed to be self-sufficient. And we are, right now. But if you want to, Mr. Sanchez, is a previous budget director, he might not know more. And if you would like to, we can invite the interim finance director, Mr. Jose Castillo, and explain to you all this. If you
Well,
want to be.
I guess just to give them some information, like, you know, we borrowed money for the county fair project. Okay, that goes into a sinking fund waiting, well, until we expend those funds. So we're paying 3% and probably earning 1%, you know? But by law, they usually direct it into certain funds. Now, you know, it can reverse where you're actually collecting more interest than you're paying, depending on the interest rates. But then you get into an arbitrage problem with the lenders.
Yeah.
And so you have to spend that money the way the law says. So it's all governed. And so there's not much flexibility. And if it is grant money, they probably tell you how it's supposed to be covered.
Okay,
And so-
okay.
But we'll do that. Any other
They're
questions?
not floating assets that you continuously have. This is money coming in and going out, coming in and going out. It's probably all regulated.
And there's a breakdown on the next page that you can see the revenues, all the revenues and expenditures.
That's the profit and loss, yeah.
Okay, the profit and loss, yes.
Yeah, on that, I see that, you know, we're getting, as of June of $38 million of revenue,
Mhm.
which about 11 million are coming from either the CARES Act or the coronavirus fund.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm, right.
But on rents, we're receiving more than $8 million a year. I mean, in the
Rent.
semester, the first semester.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
And then we have on expenditures, we're gonna see the different, type of expenses that we have, especially on personnel.
Mhm.
We have administration, and then building,
Mhm.
and then ground.
Yes,
And then on the next page, we have security,
those are the divisions.
foreign trade
Yes.
zone, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I counted about 187 people that
No.
are employed.
No, no, no,
Here.
we're about 60.
Okay, the last pages, I couldn't break this down because I got this from our proposed budget book. But the total city, the airport,
Airport.
it starts where it says 3605
Yes.
on the first page, and it will end
They,
up to, I wanna say,
So inner city branch, just under.
no, no, no.
3686.
Go to administration, total is 10.
Not 37.
And then building maintenance is 15,
This one.
25. Then ground maintenance is 11. Ground maintenance is 11, and then airport security 24, and FIS 7.
No, that's the proposed for 22, 23.
Those are the proposed budgets, yes.
Yeah,
Proposed,
but right now, instead of 10, we have 13, instead of, well, the other one is 15, building maintenance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The difference is because you see there's a change on 1, 2, 1, 1, 0, 3, 1.
So,
We're changing the customer service representative. We used to have 5.
uh-huh,
Now we're gonna go to 1. So that's the difference from 13.
And why?
to 10.
Yeah.
Because we have added, you see, when you have zeros, we have airport maintenance, airport operations manager. We created that position.
No, I understand, but so you had customer service,
Okay, let me explain that. Airport, the customer service representatives, before, we used to run the parking lot, services. We used to have people doing all the cash and the money and the machine and taking care of the maintenance. So now the airport is no longer doing that. We have a subcontractor, SP Plus. SP Plus is the company now takes care of the parking lot.
so
They
you
take-
freed up the
you free-
duties of those people.
people, we don't
Just-
need- exactly.
Just this year?
No, 2 years ago, 3
But
years
it's
ago.
not
So
for
what have
the-
those people been doing for the last 2 years?
We don't, we reclassify people and we have some of the duties to do.
But it's not for the customer service, we still have that, person for
We
the
have one
next year.
person now.
Yeah.
From
the ones that are not
5,
considered is the
it's
clerk-
to 1.
Clerk number 4 and administrative assistant number 2.
Right.
Those are the ones that are not gonna be considered for next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
And-
now administration is gonna be 10 people.
So in total, how many do we have here?
It's 10 plus 15, that's 25,
Uh-huh.
plus 11, 36. 36 plus 24, that's 60, plus 7, 67.
67, until there.
Yes, the
Then-
last one is Federal Inspection Services, 7.
Uh-huh.
So it's 15 plus 11, that's 36, 25, 36, yeah, 67.
67.
That's the total city employees. No, those are the total approved positions by the budget.
What about the leased building? Are those?
Which one?
The
Leased
the
building?
next one, yeah, the 3686, leased
FAA
building.
grant.
Those four people there, and then,
Maintenance, oh,
Are
that's
they-
municipal housing.
okay.
We,
So-
we have, because of the noise abatement program, we have some houses that the airport has purchased, and the municipal housing is doing that. Municipal housing has 2 divisions,
Okay.
one for the airport, one for municipal housing. That's municipal housing.
Okay.
They're not here at the airport.
Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that, because I was reading librarian.
No,
why is there libraries here?
no,
Keep
up on the
next
stuff,
time,
you know?
I'll show you how to do it.
Sky Mall
Yeah,
and all
I
that
didn't know
stuff.
how, and I was running out of time.
Next time I'll show you how to do it. If you want, we can condense that if you want to, but no, we don't have that.
Well,
Very good.
according to this, we have a profit of $21 million as of June.
We're not supposed to have a profit, but we have some money.
There's no problem.
There's no profit. Yeah, but, yes, you're right. At the end of the year, the closing balance is $3 million.
So I guess the key will be the allocation of those resources, right?
And a lot of people, I would like to make a remark and notes. A lot of people think that the Laredo International Airport is just this building. It's just get in, clean the restrooms, clean the floor, get American Airlines, United Airlines, and that's it. And everybody thinks, well, that's the airport, that's why the airport is like that. No, we have an airfield that we have to maintain. And everybody, for you guys, FAA, right now, it's gonna be 3 days, the inspector is here from FAA to do our annual inspection. So they go through checking all their field, all the signs, all the light. They even go to have the ARF, which is a fire station. They're supposed to respond within 3 minutes in any location of the airport. So they do a drill and they check into that. And at the end of the day, tomorrow is the out briefing on the inspection, and that's when we have some write-ups or whatever, so we have discrepancies, and they let us know, and then we'll fix it. But it's more than that. We also have 117 acres that we need to mow, especially now with the rain. You know, you guys have ranches. The
Beautiful for.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
it's green, it's beautiful, but for us it's a pain because we had to mow that and make it nice and all that. So, and at the entrance you can see also the grass is crazy, so we're running from one place to another. We also have to maintain the runways, there's taxiways. We have to maintain all the markings, the painting. We also, believe it or not, we work like the City of Laredo Traffic Department. We have to start painting white lines, yellow lines, red lines, and holding position. So that's a lot of maintenance that we do. Besides, also we have the building to maintain, and we have the police department also to take care of that security, as requested by TSA. So the airport is more, not just people think that the airport is just the
Can I
terminal.
stop you there and just ask a question? I hope I don't throw you off, but
Okay.
with my frustration over at the county, do we have, and I don't know, maybe the city in general, have a building maintenance plan, like you're saying, this building will be repainted every 7 years or every 8 years? Or do we just decide at some point, hey, we need to repaint, it's looking a little.
Well, we do have our contract maintenance agreements that we renew every year. We have contract maintenance agreement for the escalators, for the elevators. We
But
have-
I'm saying, like in general, you're saying, okay, roof maintenance, you know, this is a very special roof. So it probably needs special attention
Yeah.
every so often. The exterior of the building needs painting every so often. So it's kinda, you know, almost you gotta capitalize it and say, you know, all right, we're gonna spend, you know, maybe $500,000 to paint the building, I don't know. So you gotta say, you know, this is gonna be done every 7, 8 years, you know, so do we budget that and say, because if not, then it comes up and you say, oh, well, we need $1 million worth of maintenance, you know, next year, and the council's gonna freak out, cause wow, we never saved up for this.
Okay, that's a two-part question. We do not have that, but in our favor, we do maintain the building top-notch every single day. If there's a problem with the painting or that, we don't wait for the next year or guys in the park. No, we fix it immediately, whatever needs to be
I'm
fixed.
saying, you can come in here and you can paint this easy.
Yes.
I'm saying exterior stuff,
We
it's
do the
gotta be-
cleaning, yes, we do the cleaning
it's
outside.
gotta be
We-
programmed.
We have a maintenance agreement to do, believe it or not, to clean all the windows. That's a big contract
Yeah.
because so we have a contract maintenance agreement with somebody to come and clean all the windows. We have a contract agreement for all the central plant, for all the air conditioning, for the HVAC. We have a contract agreement for all the elevators, for all the passenger loading bridges. Even for the generators, we have
Oh,
a
yeah,
contract
you have to
agreement.
have
So
that.
we have contract agreements for everything. And whatever needs to be required, we change light bulbs, we change ceiling tiles, whatever it is required, we're on top of it. So we maintain the building in top notch, and we clean it, we wax it, you can see the floors, we clean,
I
we
understand
wax
that.
it,
Just-
so we do have that. So we try to keep it. A lot of people come to this building, and this building is about 24 years old. It was designed in 1995, built in 1998, and a lot of people said that it's in very good condition.
Oh, yeah.
So daily, we do the maintenance, and we
No,
keep
I'm
it
just
that way.
saying,
I guess it's like a plan or
A plan
We
for
do-
them to
we
come,
do
you
have-
know,
we
so
do-
they know, hey, in 3 years, we're gonna spend $1 million over here, guys, you know.
Well-
Now it's 2 years, we're gonna spend $1 million,
Well,
so don't freak out when that bill comes.
Point in case, the roof is about, we have a 25-year warranty, a weather tightness warranty. It's going to expire next year. That's the end of the life of the roof. That's why we are gonna replace the roof.
And that'll come out of that grant. we were
The
talking
grant.
Yes, of the grant that the federal government gave us, yes. 90% paid for the grant, 10% by the city. That's one priority, to replace the roof. And the escalator. The escalator's been there for 24 years, so now we need new escalators. So that's part of the grant too.
Now we're gonna do it in
Grant.
copper, right?
No, I don't think so. It's gonna be stainless, I mean, it's gonna be galvanized or something, or gray or something.
How long has it been there?
24 years.
24 years.
And we had the one replacement when that tornado. or
Yes,
whatever
we had that replay, we had that tornado, yeah.
And that one actually weathered much quicker than the
Yes.
original. You can tell the one section that was
Yeah.
damaged,
The roof?
yeah.
The idea is to have a new roof and a new escalators and do some remodeling. I know, our restrooms, they're old, and they look that way. So we need to do some remodeling to the restrooms, so that's the plan that we're working on.
Okay.
We're working
No,
on the
I'm just asking,
expansion.
just 'cause-
And it might include some painting. That
Yes.
grant can be used for anything that I think
Yes.
you explained earlier, as long as it's maintenance.
There are always maintenance, and we can retrofit all the restroom. We can put new plumbing fixtures with a new commode. I'm sorry?
I'm getting hungry.
So, we do have that, but our maintenance is every day. And
I've
we
got-
keep annual contracts.
One last question. I didn't quite follow what you were saying earlier. You were talking about a leased building. Is that this category here, 3686?
That's all the lease.
Yes, that's for the municipal housing.
Oh, but
For
we're
the
talking,
noise.
That's not, those are not our employees here.
They're another division, but we're paying with the airport money, so the noise abatement.
The 3600 number indicates it's being paid for by the airport, correct?
The
All these
38,
numbers that begin with a 36? that's all
yes,
airport.
yes,
Gotcha.
that's correct.
Oh, okay.
So-
We're the Department 36, and we have divisions, we have 5 divisions.
Okay.
And that's when you see we need to explain that, you got it right. The 36 is 3610 is administration, 3620 is building maintenance, 3630 is ground, and so those divisions.
Perfect.
And so you said 3686 is what kind of,
3686, that's the leasing building total, that's the noise abatement program,
so there's 8
with the
people
municipal
working-
housing.
There's 8 people working on that all the time?
Yes,
Really?
but
Interesting,
paid
right?
for by the airport?
yes.
We should know
Well,
what they're-
okay, we have so many houses that
With this
purchased with a noise agreement. Now they belong to the city, municipal housing is managing those houses. Our revenues are, we get the rent. Out of that money, we pay these people
Gotcha.
from the rent money.
And is it offset?
Yes,
It's a
even
positive
there,
number?
even we get some money from them.
So it is a positive number?
It's a positive number, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
I just have one last question.
Okay?
Based on the grants that we receive, other than all the expenses and maintenance and everything that we have mentioned, have we ever considered something else, like having an agreement with an airplane manufacturer to have a school here, or a simulator for any kind of airplane, just to start, getting another type of income, have a new career here in Laredo for
We,
pilots that want to become?
We have tried to have a school, but I think there's gonna be one, but.
When you say school, were you talking about flying or mechanics?
Flying school.
That
Think
would be
they-
private.
Yeah,
That
it
would
will
be
be private,
private,
yeah.
I'm talking, I think he's talking more like mechanics, right?
Mechanics, or even have a,
At one point,
get an
yes.
agreement with, I don't know,
At one
Cirrus,
point,
and
at one
have a
point,
simulator here for,
Laredo, well,
getting-
now it's what, Laredo College. Yeah, it's not okay. At one point, nowadays, Laredo College, at one point, Laredo College wanted to bring that program, to have some kind of mechanics, aviation mechanics, helicopter mechanics to work there. But it didn't materialize. But we were always working on trying to
Man,
do
it's
that.
probably kind of tough.
Yes, so.
I mean, since there are a lot of, we're lacking pilots everywhere, it could be an opportunity for the community, for
Yes.
the city of Laredo, and for the airport as well.
But it has been, we're always trying to do that, but it was with, what was the previous, Laredo College, he went to
Right,
McAllen.
junior college?
He went to McAllen, it's not the
Dr.
president, the
Solis.
president.
Dr. Solis.
Dr. Solis. He was involved in getting some people and some other university, bring it here, but it didn't materialize. And then he
I tried
left,
to get them to do diesel mechanic.
that's what they have now in welders and right now.
They have welders, but I wanted to do a diesel program, especially when we had Mercedes here, we were trying to get them to,
At the Laredo College?
trying to
okay.
get them to sponsor a school.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because I mean, the techs come out at 50 grand, you start.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I think we're off topic.
And Air Marine is the one that has the most of the mechanics for their helicopters, but that's the federal
Yeah,
government.
that's theirs.
That's the federal government that they do maintenance on the helicopters.
But it's a third
But
party.
I mean, there might be some kind of federal program tied with them. We might look for some kind of grant to sponsor some sort of educational, you know, whether technical school, I mean, you know, mechanics or introduction of something in there.
Even pilots. Yeah. Why not?
I know they do it in San Antonio, a lot of pilot training.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Foreign pilots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
5, 6 different schools there. Oh. Yeah.
But anyway, there might be something out there.
Yeah, we
Okay.
should look around, see.
Okay.
Cirrus
Well,
or Cessna
yeah, I
or
wrote it down.
anyone
Make
could
a
be.
note. So
I'll
we'll-
look into it.
So we'll tell our director to get into, to look into that.
Perfect, thank
Problem is,
you.
we have no tarmac space.
So what?
We have no tarmac space. If you were to, like, just say if Cessna wanted to come in and build a Cessna Center here, where would you put them?
But on those 115 acres that you guys have here?
We have plenty of space. We have space.
But I mean, not ready to go. I mean,
Oh,
how
no,
long would it
not-
take
no.
you to?
You know what we ought to do is we ought to revisit the master plan like we did once a while back, so that everybody that wasn't on the board at that time can see it.
We can do that if you would like
I
to.
would like to, yes,
To go over a master plan? Make a note that, make a,
for the next
for the
meeting.
next meeting, maybe a master plan presentation?
Because there's nothing available if somebody wanted to come in, you know, with, say,
We do have 2 master development agreements right now. We have one master development agreement with AFCO. Maybe we need to present that to you, so that way you understand that AFCO has some sites already, they are assigned to them for warehousing or for hangars, for that. That is AFCO. AFCO stands for Aviation Facilities Company. And then we have Group 270 from the DFW area. That's the one that's gonna bring Millionaire, the Group 270, and they're gonna build a hangar. They're also working on a hotel here at the front with a retail space and things like that. And we'll be dealing with TxDOT and the right in and right, you know, the
Will that
access.
hotel be right here on the side?
Yes,
right
it will be,
where the water tower is?
yeah, it will be on this side,
Okay.
on the north, on the south side of the
South
entrance. And then, and now that TxDOT almost finalized the loop, so we finally have some access in and out for that particular site to have a hotel. But you're right, we do not have a hangar or space ready for somebody to occupy. Whoever comes, and then we have to tell AFCO, or they need to go with the master development agreement, then we'll get into that. So, but yes, we'll make how extensive, do you want, the master plan is divided into airfield, and building, or you want a presentation, everything that's in the master plan?
Well, I'd like to know about available space, you know, again, for somebody to come in, whether Millionaire, Signature, Atlantic, whoever wants to come in.
Okay, then we'll make a presentation of the RFQ. We have an RFQ, an RFP for developers. Well, maybe we'll present that to you, that what was included in the RFP, who applied and who was selected, and the land that they have, and what's on the master development agreement. So that way you know what land is being considered for future development. Instead of presenting the whole master plan, we'll present that, the RFP for
The
development.
land use plan,
For
basically.
land, yeah.
Gotcha.
So whatever, but that, the land use plan inside the airport, not outside, because that's another land use plans when we have
Yeah, no,
outside the
not-
fence.
not-
Yeah, that's a different land use plan. But we'll present that, AFCO and 270, and what was in the RFP, and we'll decide that what on the proposal.
All righty.
Motion to adjourn.
He's hungry.
We are adjourned.